you consult for equity. So you're
Yeah.
telling the business, I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
work your SEO. I'm gonna do everything to market for you, but you got to give me 10% of the company or 15% of the company or 5% of the company. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but more like 30 or 40% of the company, because a lot of people don't understand how big marketing is and they can't afford it.
Mental toughness.
Listen, stop feeling sorry for yourself. But come on then, what's wrong with you?
Mental toughness mindset.
I had to go to grow.
Stand safe. Covers up. The pick happens. The pick happens. Martin Luther King.
You got challenges that you're going to run across.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of Elite Psyche, the Mental Toughness Show. We're doing away with the POD. This is the Mental Toughness Show, a really big show. And on Elite Psyche, we talk about, we interview people who have had success in life, who've gone through some challenges and recovered. And, you know, anybody who has success, they always have to deal with the mental toughness part. And not only that, we don't just interview that. We always talk about relationships. We do other things that we talk about on Elite Psyche. But I just believe that if you want to succeed in this world, you must have this elite psyche about yourself. So today I got a guest, and I also call my guest the co-host, because not only are we going to talk about herself, we're going to also talk about some topics today that we're going to go over. But without further ado, I want to introduce my guest, Miss Whitney. I have a couple other names that we call Whitney, but she also is the paper girl. Now, tell me, Whitney, first of all, I want to introduce you and tell me, where did that paper girl come from?
Okay, perfect. Listen, thank you so much for inviting me on the show. I'm excited to be here. I love things like this, so I'm super excited to just, just share what I got, right? And Paper Girl is so, it's just kind of carried me through. I'm from Minnesota, right? And it's always been cold there. And since a young girl, since I was 12 years old, I had a paper route, right? Like I was delivering 90 newspapers every single day after school in that cold weather. And I only got paid $60 a month, right? And then that would fluctuate a couple dollars depending on who got the Sunday paper, right? So fast forward years later, I'm still delivering daily, right? But it's more like financial education, people growing, scaling, and things like that. So I'm still on my paper route, right? And we deliver daily. My thing is kind of like always deliver. You know, as long as you're delivering, you're doing great.
All right, so we got some things in common then, because I was a paper boy growing up. And it's funny, I was at home 2 weeks ago visiting my mom, and we were opening the garage, and I was standing in front of the door, and I saw this guy walking down the street. I was like, is that Erskine? I told my mom. She said, yeah, he moved back to his dad's house. I said, so this guy that I saw walking down the street, name was Erskine, and he had the paper route. He was 4 doors down from me. He was like maybe 5 or 6 years older than me. Mm-hmm. Now, he had this little red truck, and he was delivering papers. And one day I stopped him. I guess I was 6th grade, 7th grade, or something like that. I don't even think I was that old. Maybe something like that. Maybe 5th or 6th grade. And I said, Erskine, can I throw papers with you? He said, yeah. I ain't asked him how much he's going to pay me. All I knew was whatever he gave me was cool. So I jumped in the back of his truck. I used to wrap the papers and put the rubber band on. Mm-hmm. And we would go through the neighborhoods, and I was in the back of the truck throwing them out into the yard. Is that what you did?
Yeah, exactly what I did. But I would have to ride my bike because my mom, she would be at work. And then like they would be gone. So I would have to go home right away after school. I would have to freeze, drive my bike, walk it up the hills with ice, walk up and throw the papers in the door. Now, if they had the mailbox, it was cool, right? Or sometimes even if my mom would help me, she would just do the ones where she could sit in the car and drive by and put them in the boxes. But the ones I had to walk up to the door, I definitely had to do that. So I used to always tell people, like, you know, I was making sacrifices. I couldn't do things after school because these papers had to be out by like 5. And then on Sunday, they'd have to be out by like 6 a.m., different things like that. So I was just like so resilient, getting frostbite, buckling up. Like it was so much, but it was definitely worth it.
Now, how old were you then?
Like 12 is when I started, and I kept my paper out all the way until I was like 17.
But what you do in the winter in Minnesota?
Freeze.
You were still on the bike?
Cold. I would come home. I would literally be an icicle, like literally be an icicle. And some people used to feel so bad for me on my paper route. They'd be like, "Do you want to come in and warm up for a couple minutes?" I'd be like, "Yes, yes."
Wow.
So crazy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So tell everybody what you're doing now. So what are you doing now?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, awesome. So now this is cool timing too, because I recently just pivoted out of coaching and I'm doing way more consulting. So now I have a marketing company. It's called LiveWorks Marketing. And with that, I help businesses. I always say I help millionaires make more millions, right? So I help businesses grow and scale through marketing and strategy, social media, SEO, media, PR, different things like that. I like to embody your whole entire marketing department and create campaigns and different things like that for businesses to scale. So that's what I currently do. And then I also invest in cash flowing businesses. So businesses that are already making money and people just don't want them anymore. So I come through and save the day like that as well.
So when you say invest, you literally do it, or you find investors to do that?
A little bit of both. I'm somebody who really values relationships. So I've built a network and a network of people that love success, that understand good business, right? And so with that, I kind of have different pockets of people. And I find that people come to me like, "Hey, Whitney, can you fix this?" And I always seem to have somebody teed up, ready to go that can like fix it, or who they're exactly looking for to help scale their business and things like that as well. So I'm kind of on social media, like Instagram and things. My name is Whitney the Connect on there because I've just valued connections a lot more than networking, right? Even though you have to network to get there, but I've established a lot of healthy relationships with wealthy people, right? So I just kind of am like that bridge for that.
You know, I've lost so much money with this SEO thing.
Okay.
I paid people $10,000.
Okay.
You know, and none of it worked out for me. I mean, and I wish they had told me that up front, because when it wasn't working, then they came back with this, well, you know, this is why. And if you had done this, and if you had, you know, it wasn't like that in the beginning when they was getting my money.
Yeah.
And when it didn't work. So, I mean, what kind of, do you have a guarantee on your SEO? I mean, what are you?
Well, this is what I believe. I believe that a lot of people, so, you know, you're great at what you do. So then you come over to marketing and a lot of people kind of like tell me what they want or tell me what they think. And with marketing, it's literally something that I think people think marketing is just, hey, I'm going to pay this and I'm going to get in front of people and I'm going to get paid. And it's like, no, marketing takes a lot of testing. It takes a lot of identifying. It takes a lot of parts put together. And some people, when they come, that's why I really value kind of how like my brand and my integrity and branding and marketing, because some people, you can just come to them, they'll tell you what you need, but they forget all the other missing parts. You know, like you can have email marketing, but if you don't have any bumps and downsells and upsells and stuff in your business, like it doesn't really work. With SEO, if you don't have all the other components that go with marketing and backlinks and different things like that, where people can find you, like it doesn't really make sense, right? So some people will think that they're ready for SEO marketing or ready for these different stages in marketing, and they all kind of go together for the machine to work, right? Marketing is just like the oil on the machine, but you need all the parts. And a lot of people right now, they just want to get paid, right? They just want to get paid. So with me, it's kind of different because I back up everything that I believe in. And so I believe in becoming your partner so I can put in just as much effort. So I can be the marketer and you can just be Tony, and you can just trust me in all your marketing needs, all your advertising needs, all your social media needs, all of that. So you don't have to come over here and figure it out. You know, you're partnered with the experts. So now I consult for equity in different businesses that I work for. So I know that you guys are getting my marketing and not trying to piece me together with everybody else that you're using, so we can get a machine going.
So you consult for equity. So you're telling the business, I'm gonna come to you, I'm gonna work your SEO, I'm gonna do everything to market for you, but you got to give me 10% of the company or 15% of the company or 5% of the company. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but more like 30 or 40% of the company, because a lot of people don't understand how big marketing is and they can't afford it. You know, most people, they can't afford marketing. So it's better to be my partner and really go off the strength of like, man, I believe in your company this much, but I believe that I have to do it. So you can just be Tony, right? Or you could just be who you are in your business and not even, I got to take over your marketing department really for me to really get embedded in there and really guarantee those results. And then also when I own part of the company, I'm going to make sure it works anyway. Anything I touch is going to win. Right. So, and I'm going to be sure of it. And so instead of you paying me, like you said, $10K a month for SEO, why not get the whole package and become my partner and just win off future profits that we're making together?
All right. So I had a conversation with you the other day and you were saying that you like to come into companies that's already running and already got things up in place. If they're already doing that, why they want to give you 30? Now, somebody like me, probably, you know, well, I'm just getting started, 6,000 subscribers, and I'm looking for editors, and I'm looking for all that. And I don't really have anything right now, but I have the pod, I have, well, the show. I have the show, and I have all those things. I got, you know, interviews and all that, but I would be probably a more perfect candidate than somebody up and running. But then you probably looking at what are they already making, so I can kind of get in there and get a little piece of that as I go along. So
yeah, a lot of times, like, so if I looked at a business, like, so when people want to work with me, I have to believe in their mission or their thing, right? So like if this show is new, right, but you have a past of success, you have people that know who you are, you have a place, you have influence, you have all of that. That's kind of really how I'm more evaluating what we're about to do, you know? And so that's kind of like that. I like to work with companies that are already successful because they don't understand that they're just missing a part of success. They know how to take risks. They understand consistency and different things. And that's all marketing is just really being consistent of getting out there. Right. And so I like to work with successful people, but if people come to me and they don't even know what they got, but I believe in what they have, right? I know, like, you don't even know I'm going to blow your mind because I've already done this successfully with this same exact type of company. So the blueprint is already written and I know that this is going to work. So when I believe in it, I'm letting you know, like, or even sometimes I'm like, hey, let me come in. If you don't want this money, can I show you how to make this money? And then you just give me this much of it. And if you want to play, we can play after that. But if not, you know what I mean? But if I got that belief in your business, I'm going to show you that.
I remember you mentioned that. So give us an idea of 2 or 3 things that companies are missing out on that don't know there's a revenue stream there.
Most companies, like right now, that have been successful offline, they don't understand how much money they're missing online. And most of them don't want to learn it, use it, develop it, create it. And they just think that they know because they've been making money like a certain way so much. So I'm kind of at the age where I understand that the 20-year-old on the team is going to work for us better than us trying to find somebody who's whatever, right? So I'm a great bridge and a liaison between businesses that are offline and kind of bringing them online and showing them money that they don't even see already, right? So like this might be like right now, like you don't even have to go into the doctor to get like blood tests. People are pulling up, but you need a digital footprint for people to find you with that, right? Or right now I work with a business that does accident referrals, right? So they're outside looking for accidents and things, but I'm helping them with a marketing system. So when they get leads, they're just like boom, boom, boom. They're not thinking of these things. So I'm bringing to the table of how to make their business easier, way more scalable, worth way more, right? And impact way more people and make way more money that sometimes if you're already successful, you don't even see that you need, or a good way to help a lot more people with what you already do. Like,
So-
I like to come in your business and create circular velocity. Even though we're doing this show, right? There's some people that it's like, hey, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this girl and this guy, but I love his brand. Let me buy the shirt, right? There's people that we have these events and we're here pouring into people, giving them gems and all this stuff, but they just want the picture. We have to feed them too. So let's have a great event for them to come pay and come soak in that. They want everybody's energy, but they're not even in the seat. That's cool. That's cool. That's how you feed them, right? So I like to come up with marketing strategies to hit everybody who might be looking for you or who you can impact with ways that you might not even been available because you just want to do stuff your way, right?
What did you call that? Circular velocity.
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
I believe for me, that means that I can come in your business and no matter what, okay, cool, we have the show. Now I believe that the show, I can figure out how the show, a recipe in the show that makes it a class or a course. And then we can find the recipe in that to make you create a high ticket, right? And then we're always creating where people are going to come in on one thing, but they're either going to come up or down in your business, but they're always going to believe in your brand, always believe in your mission, right? So I believe that every business needs to have that inside of there. So we can serve everybody from like any point. Anybody who wants a piece of what you got to offer, we should be able to serve them because you've done so much stuff and it's still good information, even if it's not new, right? So creating that where they're going to come in and stick somewhere, you know?
So you're talking like, in the music industry, like a 360 deal where
people, I think when you start to create that in your business, like some clients of mine will be successful, will complete the mission. They'll create more things so we can continue to be together, work together, this and that. So I was like, you know what? I got to have the community just so they can sit over there until my next thing rolls out that they can be available for, right? Because their businesses are thriving because they're getting served off what I have to offer. So let me at least create a community. Let me create a high ticket mastermind, right? Different things like, let me have an event, different things like that, because people, when they love you and then they invest into what you have to offer as you grow, they want to grow with you too.
Right. Like gear, logos on your hats and all that kind of stuff. That's what you're talking about. Because I see that sometimes. I see that.
Serve them with.
Say it again.
Also things you can serve them with, like me with social media, right? I have a social media agency. It continues to change, right? So I might go in there and allow updates of like, hey, you guys, I know we were doing this last week in social media. Now we're doing this, right? So even just things that can serve their business because now they're attached to me because I'm giving them things that are growing their business and growing their business because the world in businesses, it changes all the time, right? Now we're in AI and all of these other things, right?
So I asked a couple of ladies who were doing online stuff, and they kind of okay. I asked them about a Patreon page. They're like, that ain't important, but isn't that important to have a Patreon page?
If it's important for your audience, right? A lot of people, we serve on places where we don't need to serve, like some people like me, this is cool. Like people will tell me on Instagram, they might be like, man, coach, I can't even, you're not clear on Instagram. You're not clear on Instagram, but you're telling me to do this, right? My average client is not on Instagram. My client is not on there. Like people that pay me 10, 20, 30K, like they're not on Instagram searching and stuff like that. They're making money. They're not even doing that, but their team is on there. So I, on Instagram, become a likable person. So they might say, your team might be like, hey, Tony, you should reach out to Whitney with marketing, right? But you might not be on there scrolling. So when I might be telling the influencer, because they're asking me for coaching, hey, you got to post this many times. Well, why don't you do it, coach? Because that's not who I'm serving over here. So we have to identify what platforms are for who you have to serve, not just Hey, I got to be on Facebook. Hey, I got to be on Instagram. Hey, I got to be on LinkedIn. Hey, I got to have a Patreon. Hey, I got to have a YouTube page. Hey, I got to do this. No, because guess what? You're going to get burnt out. You're talking to the wrong people. You don't even know. People will always emphasize on me, Whitney, you need to talk to, you need to create community for moms, right? But I can create a relatable community over there for a mission, but my client is not really the average mom. You know, she might be introducing me to her husband's business or somebody that she knows or something like that. You know what I mean? You got to find the right platforms for what you're trying to offer.
So now, how did you get into this? Because you were doing the coaching, and then so you kind of flipped it now. How did that happen?
So I recently pivoted because I believe that I'm an empath. I love people and all that. And just the state of people right now, I was becoming more than a business coach. I'm your therapist. I know we're supposed to just be having client appointments, but why do I know that you want to, I don't know,
shoot your boyfriend
or you know what I mean, fire? Like it's just too much, right? So I had to decide instead of me just, and I was trying to build those type of barriers for at least like a couple years. Like, how do I get these boundaries better? How do I whatever? But if you need something, I want to help you if I can, and all of this type of stuff, right? So I had to decide and really woke up one day and I'm like, I can't really take on the weight of a lot of people of what they are going through too. And most of the time your business is suffering when you're going through those type of things, right? So you think you need a business coach, but I'm referring you to therapy. I'm referring you to meditations. I'm referring you to healing center. Like those are the things that I was doing, right? So I had to decide and make a decision. And I had to say, God, like, yo, I love all the skills that I've acquired, right? And I've been consulting forever. And I look down at businesses that I've helped make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and all they paid me is a consulting fee. And I had to wake up and be like, yeah, well, what if I just asked them for a percentage? That would have been, you know, $50,000 this year instead of like a $10,000 consulting thing that I just executed in 90 days. And now their whole system's working. They don't need me no more, all of this. So then I had to take my skill set. I had to look at my network. And I had to see what could I offer the wealthier people in my life. And it was like the connections. And then I decided this on September 2nd. I went to an event. I wrote it all down in my journal right here. I went to an event September 2nd that night. I met a gentleman that was telling me, I was like, yeah, I want to get into the med spa industry. He's like, why don't you just buy one that's already working? I got into a mastermind by accident. A friend added me to a group, and a guy on the outside asked me about marketing on November 3rd. And by, what is the date today? Like January something, I've acquired multiple businesses through consulting, through equity, through operational consulting and advisory consulting. Just a lot of people trust me to make decisions for their business, and they'll pay for that.
So tell me about the place in Phoenix you were talking, well, in Arizona. I don't know if it's in Phoenix.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's in Scottsdale. And so that's kind of like where I met the gentleman in this spa group, but we kind of connected on marketing, right? And, you know, I think we go through business partners and things like that, but I kind of found like we started connecting and I kind of found like my dream business partner. Like I was like, I'm very much colorful, creative, organic marketing, things like that. And I found like the best marketer who does automation, AI, SEO marketing, different things like that. And so I just, after talking to him a couple times, I flew out to meet him. And in the midst of that, I was like, wow, he's everything that I'm missing in business. And so with that, I decided for his spa, the stuff that I could bring to the table, and people know now that I'm only consulting for equity. So it's like, hey, I need a piece of this spa, right? Right. Play together. And with that, we birthed multiple businesses in such a short amount of time because we were the right missing links for each other's businesses. And he's already successful in business acquisitions. And I'm a great person that can connect with people that a lot of businesses need. And for me as a person, I know who I am and I know myself, and I like to create different things. So I don't just zero in on an industry. I'm just great at marketing. And I'm great at getting the message from the business to the consumer, right? And that was a great bridge that he was missing. So now with that, we've done an amount of success that I've never been able to do. And I've had that paradigm shift when I decided to be more be worth more, have more value about myself because of what I already do. And my skills didn't change. My actually workload kind of got less because now it's just making decisions or operating really hard for 90 days and getting things in place, and then boom, you know? So that's just what I desire to do for businesses so they can have more success versus all this like, hey, we got a marketing company and now they need 5K for this. And now they need to add 10K for this. And now they got to blah, 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 blah. It's my business too. So I'm investing with it too. What do we need? For, you know what I mean? Not just the time, but I believe in it that much. And if I can, it's like, for real, like, do you want a whole grape or a half a watermelon? Like, if you want that half a watermelon, come play. Like, that's kind of how I look at it now because you don't know marketing.
Well, you know, I'm gonna hold you to some of this stuff when we get off this,
Yes.
show today.
Yes.
All right. Now let's talk about that one topic that I told you. I said, why are you getting these guys' hopes up, taking their money, and that's not going to happen? And you told me it is happening. Yeah.
I think like people.
What's the verbiage you use for that?
I'm not really going to take your money if I know that it's not.
But no. We were talking about one topic, one particular thing that men was coming in that spa to get.
Oh.
You remember that?
Okay. So at our spa, you know, we're really big on just helping people feel their absolute best, right? And so with us at our spa offering different injections to help men feel confident, that is something that people are always going to pay for, right? So we are a spa that a lot of people don't offer this, but people come in every single month to get pumped up, right? And I'm telling you, they're repeating.
I believe the air comes out as soon as they leave, though. You can't.
No, the air does not come out as soon as they leave, but their confidence is through the roof, right? And this is something that I think that a lot of gentlemen, they like to come into the spa to feel more confident. This isn't just places like at home in bed. A lot of people have to feel confident at the gym. They got to feel confident wherever they're, you know what I mean? Like these different places. So men will fly out to Scottsdale, Arizona. Focal Point is our spa name, and they will come out there and they will get these procedures that definitely enhance them for small periods of time.
Right. Then they got to come back and get another shot or whatever that is. Really? They're paying that kind of money?
Yes. So what people don't understand in the wealthy, you got to, well, we all know this, you have to take care of your health too, right? So at our spa,
that ain't what they coming out there to take care of now.
Man, that's part of their health because we have to, aren't we talking about mental health? This is how you have to feel good. We both know that you got to feel good to attract and be good and all of these things. So that's exactly what we do at the spa. We got women coming in there getting tired, men in there coming in there getting larger.
Doc, I need a bro. You must be asleep over there, Doc. What you doing? bruh. God dang. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm lost a little bit. Okay. Let me get my bearings.
The brothers ain't pulling up.
I was about to say. What's the percentage?
The brothers ain't really pulling up.
All right, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm lost now. I tell you what. Let's play one of the videos, Doc. I want to come back and discuss. I don't know where it's gonna come on the screen. It might come in the center of me, over me or you. But Doc, if you could play one of them, then we're gonna come back and talk about it.
I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
All right, so give me some struggles, because that you've been through that, I don't know, people might know or don't know. Because let's go back. Have you ever worked a 9 to 5?
No.
Okay, so what gives you that boldness to be out? Because it's hard in these streets. If you ain't working a 9 to 5 and you trying to hustle and sell and build up whatever you're doing, that's a grind. And so,
right.
So tell me some of the things that first of all, why have you not? Because I don't have a problem with 9 to 5. I think a lot of people should have that.
Yeah.
But what's your mentality to say, did that start as being a paper girl and moved on up? What?
Yeah, that's perfect. So everything that I've ever done, I've kind of always known kind of who I was very young, right? Like I've always known who I was really, really young. So even starting off as a paper girl, then being a bartender and a bottle girl and a VIP waitress and different things like that, all of those type of skills were always me creating relationships, being a people person, right? I always knew I wanted to make a lot of money and help a lot of people. So when I first, being from Minnesota and Iowa, I was actually born in Iowa, I came down to Atlanta, Georgia, and I was like, oh, I want to be a lawyer, right? Like I want to be a lawyer, and different things like that. And I just had to understand, like, I didn't want to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be a doctor. Like, I don't want to be around sick people. The lawyer stuff, I'm like, this is not me. Like, this is not for me, right? I didn't want to do that stuff. But all those boiled down to that I wanted to make a lot of money and help a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. So with that, like I said, being a bartender and a VIP waitress, I built up resilience and stuff like that. I had to make high sales. I'm working in Atlanta. People have to sell these bottles that are $500. Like, you know what I mean? Like all of those things, it was really good. And then in 2014, I was introduced to network marketing, and those were the skills that I was already great at. So I was like, whoa, I can help a lot of people and make a lot of money at my own rate, at my own speed. Because what I did understand that I never really had a 9 to 5. I went to college forever, but I couldn't afford it. So even when I moved to Atlanta, I went to Georgia State and I snuck in all those classes for like 7 months. And even those teachers were in on it. Like I would just go to those big lecture halls and just kind of like sneak in there because I couldn't afford college, but I was just there for the knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. And in the midst of that, someone found me, and I started with network marketing because I understood that I already had these skills to make it happen. And so with that, that's where I built, I was just great at leadership. And even since I was younger, I was creating all the school dances. I was on all these boards and all of these things. So I honed into those skills, and I led life like that. I didn't lead life on like, oh, I should do this. I was never doing that. I'm not an authority person. I don't like people ever telling me what to do. Even my friends now or people around me now, they're like, you just live on a flow. Cause I go on the path of the least resistance. Right. So I had to find something that I'm good at, procrastination and having my back up against the wall and making money and doing those type of things. It's not for everybody. Right. But it's like, I knew I had those type of skills. So I've always been all in network marketing, broke as hell for years, right? I was always all in my after that.
Well, tell me then.
Okay.
Some of the sacrifices you went through, some things you might have lost, some things. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I had a crazy belief, right? I've had a crazy belief. I've always had a crazy belief, right? So I'm never gonna be the girl that's like, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. I'm putting them all in there. I'm risking it all. I'm not, I don't really believe in that safety thing because my belief is a little bit bigger than that, right? So the struggles I go through with that is just like, making just enough money in the company for the conferences and stuff. And I would risk it all. Right. I would risk it all. Like I would, I remember, I will never forget this. There's this lady, love her so much. Like she really built my confidence. She had an event in the DMV and I was in Atlanta. And I remember I had $50. Yeah, I had $50. The event was like $49.95, right? Mm-hmm. I paid for the event, drove up there, rode in somebody's car, like, oh, I'll give you gas money when I get back. We get commissions on Thursday night or something, right? rode up there, man, my phone was off. My phone was off. The only way we make calls, the only way we make money is making calls, right? My phone was off for it was like 2 weeks. But they had that text app. If I was in my Wi-Fi, I could like make calls, right? So I remember sacrificing like my last $50 for my phone to be off for a couple weeks. Family couldn't call me. I had to figure out an app to call people, all types of stuff, right? But that conference changed my life, right? So that was really when I learned early on in that industry the power of sacrifice. And I never called it sacrifice. I don't even like that word. It's like I made hella investments in my belief system of knowing that it will always work out no matter what. But losing sleep, I'm the girl on the calls to the last clock of like, let me rank up. I'm like the mom that you can see and run back footage of like me on a stage with my daughter, or my daughter in the back, everybody holding her and all types of stuff. Like I never missed an event. I did all of those type of things. Like all of those sacrifices, I love it because it really are all those investments into that type of lifestyle. They really help me be resilient in business. Because if I didn't have those skills, I would never be able to run a marketing agency. I would never be able to do high ticket transactions. I would never be able to work in consulting or anything like that. So all those investments, and I was like, really, I've like lost like cribs. Like I've lost like so much, but my belief was always there. So it was always worth it for sure.
So you looked at everything as a learning experience. A lot of people look at it as a loss.
Think of the negative.
Yeah, they that's how they think of it, man. MLM and network, but they didn't. I guess most of them didn't put the work in anyway. So they can't look at it like that. But if you did that.
Yeah. So I did that. And then even when I didn't put in the work, I was so great at being a great leader that a lot of people in network marketing, I don't know about so much now, but back then a lot of people in network marketing, they became a great support system for me. Like, because you create I created like such tight bonds and like different things like that. So even through all those like learning lessons, I felt like we're all kind of like learning them together. Because if my check was messed up, your check was messed up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so I just think like those type of things, that's why I absolutely love that industry for anybody in entrepreneurship. I would just feel like it's such a great place to start. You're going to learn resilience, you're going to learn the power of people not liking you, saying that you're going to just learn so much to be a great leader. And then you become a community leader and different things. It just depends on what you want. I strive for impact. You know what I mean? So we desire that.
Because I actually met you in the company. Now that was through Donnie Wiggins, right? Or was it?
Yes.
It was through Donnie, right? Because we had lunch. Remember we had lunch over
I remember. It was over here in Buckhead. Yes.
Yeah. What was that? Was that a pizza joint or something? Because I don't eat pizza. It might have been it was, what was that?
I don't think I ate either. I think we just met there really quick. I think it maybe had a salad or something.
Okay. Yeah. It was right at Piedmont.
Yep, over there. That's kind of where I stayed at. Yeah.
Right where it connected to what's the road that go all the way up across 285?
I think it's Roswell.
Yes, Piedmont and Roswell. It was right there, that plaza right there.
Yes.
So you ever talk to Donnie?
Yes, I always tap in with Donnie, usually on social media and things like that. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, we kind of work in the same space.
All right. Well, when I saw that video we just played, I know that's one of the things that I know that people who ever had any kind of success, they had to go through some stuff. They had to lose some stuff or been in, awkward positions or had to make decisions that the typical person wouldn't really take or do, whether it was putting forth the effort to, drive everywhere if you couldn't fly or to do whatever it took to get there. Where most people would say, no, that's just too much.
You got to trust yourself. Yeah, you got to trust yourself for that. And you got to be, I love the unknown. Like a lot of people, they don't like to do that. I love it.
Right.
I love it. So I like to lean into those type of things. And most people can't fathom that. Right. And I kind of grew up in even though like I had a brother and I met more family later on and different things like that, but I kind of always lived in a world and never I think if my mom was on here, she would say like, I never kind of adjusted to anything. Like I never thought anything was normal, because I believe in creating your own reality. You know, you're a person in a reality. That's why we have a personality, right? So those are things that I've always created my own world, my own world, my own world, my own world. So even when you guys think it's not working, it's working for me. And I've always had that type of belief. And with that, that's why I don't really work hard. So when a lot of people be like, oh, coach, you grinded, you did it. It's like, nah, I spent like 24 thinking of the idea, of the master plan, of whatever. And then I hire and find and look for, or sometimes I just want to work in the business and I want to do the copy and I want to, you know what I mean? Like different things like that. And so most people don't take care of their belief. They try to take care of the work. But I don't believe, like as a feminine, successful alpha type of woman, I believe that I just work really smart, you know, but that took so much investment in mindset and development and mistakes and fear.
I'm glad you brought up this feminine alpha type woman. I had a show I did the other day. Yeah, a really big show that I did the other day. And we were talking about dating and relationships. We were talking about dating apps and all that. So you're out here, right? You're single.
Man,
there's
so what? Fish in the dating pool.
What do you mean? You talking about Atlanta? I know
Atlanta, but you know, Atlanta got poison in it. I don't know what Atlanta got.
But you know, everything starts in Atlanta. I don't care what nobody says. It goes from here everywhere. So have you used dating apps?
I've never been on a dating app, but I just went to this lunch with some boss ladies the other day, and they was like, "Girl, you got to get on these apps." That's it. I don't know. All
right. So do you get the DMs in your Instagram and your messages in your Facebook? Do you?
Man.
Okay. So how do you decide on whether you're going to go on a date or not? How do you decide on the person if you, where's that?
Okay. That's perfect. Me, I'm scared as hell.
Really?
I don't know. It's scary out here. Like you can't really just like, hey, come pick me up at my house. Blah, blah. Like you can't do none of that, right?
Right.
And so, me, I believe, I've been like single, but I'm not really a dater, right? So everybody, you know, I know my king is not going to bust down my house and find me in here sitting in the house on my computer working. So I know I have to start honing in on the dating experience, right? But for me, the dating stories, the marriage story, these stories out here, I don't know. I just am kind of like, God, if you don't bring him to me yourself and sit him next to me, or literally visit me in my prayer, be like, yo, he looks like this. This is him. You're gonna see him tomorrow. I don't know. When I'm out, I do organically meet people and things like that. And I might like go on a date here and there. But to me, it's scary. It's wild out here.
Have you been married?
No, I haven't been married. No.
Okay, so do you plan on, or you kind of made up your mind that
is it?
Okay.
So I believe there's not really like, I have a belief in a marriage, right? Like I have a belief in a marriage. Like can my king pull up? Can my king pull up? Okay. I definitely have a belief in marriage, but we got to kind of like write it out, because the way that marriages work these days, there's not really like a standard, right? Like I'll be like, oh, that's what you do in marriage? I was literally watching, I never watched reality TV. Me and my friend, she was like, oh, I cooked yesterday. She stopped over. We put on this show that was just on here. The guy that's married, they were talking about he can go outside of his marriage 12 times a year. What? This is what marriages are? I don't know. I can't participate. I don't know. So if the king does not come straight from these other things, not doing it.
Wow. So you don't have this. Yeah.
Rob,
you don't have this fear that I'm gonna be 65 and I don't have anybody.
Yeah. So I don't think that I don't think there's a fear of me not being able to find anybody. I don't think there's a fear of me not being able to have options of like, you know what I mean? I think if I wanted to be married tomorrow, I could just, you know, okay. Like, I don't know. I just think like that's how it could be. But I think that God has a perfect crafted king that's gonna pull up and find me that's successful, Black, rich, happy, mentally available,
Okay.
takes care of his family, hasn't taken it. See, listen, Tony, I wrote out all this stuff and I thought he came, but I forgot a couple things on there. So you got to be careful. You got to have every single step. Do not miss. Ladies, when you're writing them down, or men, when you write down wifey, do not miss a step, because
you thought it was him, and what happened? You were sitting at dinner and you was looking at him thinking, what did he just say?
I said, hold on. What part did I miss? Oh, okay. That was a big chunk that I missed, God. Hold on. Let me rewrite this. Let me scratch it out and rewrite it. But yeah, no, I believe that love is the only way that we're going to heal things. You know what I mean? So I just, I'm at the age right now where I could date the daddy or the stud, and they're both wild. Like, I don't know.
You're kind of in that middle range. I got you.
The older guys are still wild. And
right.
My older homegirls, they're still dealing with the same issues that I just feel like even my mentees are dealing with. What? I said, hold on.
Well, you know what? I'm going to blame it, and I really do. And I know people say you can't, but I think it's the social media thing. I was talking about the other day that guys have way more options.
Yeah.
They can go on social media and just inbox or whatever they do, or go on the apps. Before, they didn't have that. I always said that.
You had to have some games.
Like before, if they were living in Minnesota where you were, or Iowa, before social media, you only dealt with the young lady you met at work, or you might have met somebody at church, or you might have met them in passing somewhere. You didn't know about the other million that's on Instagram in Kickback, Mississippi, so now you go on there and, ooh, she looks good. Let me go in there and DM them. Ooh, she looks good.
Let me meet her out here.
Yeah. So I really believe that.
Yeah. So this is what I believe. I believe that God is going to give me the desires of my heart, right? So I know my king is pulling up, right? But for women out here in the dating world, or I'm not a man, so I can't like speak from that, but I still believe in like really traditional things. But I think like right now people think like there's another option, and there's another option, and there's another option, and there's another option. So now we have women out here being really successful. Because I think too, like I have to fight against this too. A lot of men, successful women, and then I'm like, you have to come really hard, because I already have a lot of the things that we might be able to build it. All of these things, right? So then we have to, you're coming for my ego versus like this. I'm like, hold on, I need my guy to pull up so I can't be the soft woman. Like, I don't want to pay all these bills. I don't want to do all this stuff. Right? But it's like we have a resistance, I feel like, with men and women, and we're combative with each other. Versus like, because I work in different communities, and I feel like the struggles are a little bit different. I believe we're marrying later in life, and versus like there's a lot of components. We could go into this a lot, right? Yeah. But yeah, I think I still believe in that women and men are still getting married. They're still creating successful families, and I think families is the way for us to change the trajectory of where we're at right now. So I still. I think it can still happen, but the dating pool is disgusting.
All right, Doc, let's run the other video right quick.
Working on yourself, talking to yourself. That's so very important. Overcoming the negative conversation, that inner dialogue that's going on all the time, even when you don't want it to be there. You can't stop yourself right now from thinking. You can't do it. It's going on. And so learning how to empower yourself, part of doing that is standing up to yourself. You've got to stand up inside yourself sometimes and say, shut up. I was going to give a presentation, and this voice inside of me saying, you can't do this. You don't have everything it takes. Shut up. I'm behind on my bills, and you're telling me what I can't do. I have got to do it. You'll get scared sometimes. Your mind will go blank on you. Some people you will allow to unnerve you, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? I'm not crazy. That's why you've got to learn to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stand up inside yourself. Working on yourself, watching that inner dialogue, it will determine the quality of your life.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting about that video and the other videos that we look at is that the inside the box thinkers, the status quo, the ones whose whole idea is go to school, get a good education, go get a good job, work 40 years, get a master's or a PhD, or
It worked for us.
Yeah, or work for UPS or FedEx part-time. You know what I'm saying? Now they would look at something like that and say that's just hype and BS. That's just that motivational stuff. And it makes so much sense. I do understand why they don't understand it, because you think about how much we got just learning the network marketing stuff that we got, which people call us a scam and all that. But building your mindset and your thoughts and believing in yourself and speaking these things into existence are so real.
Yeah.
But the challenge is, like, when you go outside of that box and do something like what you're doing, or anything outside of that list of things I named, you're going to get attacked from everybody, family members, friends. And if you don't operate like Les was saying, talking to yourself, believing in yourself, separating from people, it's gonna be a lot. That's why a lot of people drop. You know what I'm saying? On the like Jay-Z said on the song, on the climb to the top, a lot of people drop. That's what happens because they let the naysayers get into their ears. So how do you protect you from that?
This is super good. So there's a couple things that I do. So I'm like a routine person. I'm somebody who stays in my routine, right? The moment that I get lazy or get off my routine, I know that doesn't work for me. So I've identified that, right? So I'm a routine person. And so, of course, do all the things that other people tell you to do, right? But two things that created a paradigm shift for me was, like, I script back my day of exactly how it should have went, right? Neville Goddard is one of my favorite philosophers, right? So this is like one of his things, but I script back my day of exactly how I wanted it to be. So I can't even go to sleep with my subconscious messed up of what anybody might have said to me, what anybody didn't believe in, what idea I had or anything like that. So I don't I protect more than anything, right? So, like, I protect my mindset, and I have it so trained that I don't even let that stuff just like is repellent off of me. But this takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of reminding, and it takes a lot of training. But that is like one thing that I don't play with. And I think people around me would like probably say that, like, the moment that it's not, you don't believe in what I'm doing, it's cool, all love, but I'll holler at you when it's done, and we can just continue after that. Because right now I only need people around me who believe in what is up and what's going forward and what's happening, right? So that's a way that I protect things. And then I just kind of like manifest different. And so with doing that, and you have this image in your head, I kind of share how I do that, but this image in your head, when the noise starts to come, I can't even agree to it. So if I don't agree to it, it doesn't create in my head, and I can't really do that. So with that takes a lot of training too. And that's another thing that people are going to be like, no, that can never happen. You can never, I mean, if someone says this to you, you're going to feel like something like that, but that takes a lot of training too. So that technique I was talking about is like, we might be like, hey, you get what you picture, sit right here, believe yourself on a beach, and you can have different things like that, right? I kind of would go to the beach already and look at myself back here of like, man, look at me sitting in my loft on a podcast or like that, like right. Visualizing backwards, right? So reverse engineering ideas and stuff like that. That's what I do with my mind before I let any idea. And a lot of people, they'll let things sit in there. If you said something on here and it hurt my feelings, right? I'm not gonna be like, damn, I can't believe he said that. Right, I'm never gonna do another podcast. I'm calling your ass after this. Like, hold on, let me fix this because you're not gonna live rent free in my head with a bad idea.
Right. So you said Neville, what's his name?
I stay with it.
Well, I think our engineer mentions that sometimes, and Doc says that, I think. And what's the other the spooky lady? What's the other lady?
Abraham Hicks.
Oh yeah, Doc loves Abraham Hicks.
Oh yeah, so she's been like my mentors are like Abraham Hicks, Neville Goddard, Reverend Ike. Like I live in that world. So a lot of the stuff when people And then like I've never had, I just got a TV. Like I've never had a TV and things like that, because I believe whatever entertains you trains you. But even on that, I always consistently have something running on YouTube that's always positive. So like even when people come to my home, they feel it. I'm big on energy.
Yeah, I am also. I don't have the cable and all that kind of stuff, but that's when the inbox thinker said, "Oh, crazy."
Yeah.
Okay, you're not watching the news,
right?
How do you make it?
They work for us. That's who we hire.
Yeah, I'm saying, but how do
so
you
they have
make
a job because we thought about them having a job.
Wow, that's a good way to think about it.
If I didn't create this, you wouldn't be able to work here and make X amount of dollars to go on your vacation once a month or once a year or whatever, you know? If I didn't do that, right? So I believe we have to understand that the C students provide opportunities for the A and B students.
Wow. My mom would say, huh?
Yeah.
See, no, this is what my mom tells me all the time. I can't believe you came out of my household talking like that. I said, Mom, I didn't. I came out talking like you, but I changed it. You know what I'm saying? I had to change, I had to switch up on some things. So yeah, I mean, I think I understand and agree 100% with everything you're saying, because it takes that. It takes that me against the world type mentality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know what y'all thinking, and I know what y'all thinking, but I got to keep going so I can. And I think a lot of people fall off because they don't feed their mind.
Yeah, no, I think. And then it's also other people with the lack of belief in you. I think like most of my success usually comes when I get around someone else who believes in me too, right? So it's really about the people around you. Like even think about like asking for your first high ticket, or like this is good for somebody. Like I remember asking for like my first high ticket, right? Like I'm like, there's no, I can't ask for 10K. I can't do it. Like I'm so scared, right? And it's like someone having the belief in me to pay me 10K at one time for 45 days of work. Wow, that belief, man, that I scaled that thing so quick because it was a belief in me that no one's ever did it. My mom doesn't believe it. Well, you know, or like people around me, my friends, they say they, but not like that, right? They ain't never just gave me 10K to think for them, right? So someone else, I believe the etymology of the word love is value and belief. So when you have someone value and believe in you, it's gonna breathe the seed in you that makes you have the mental toughness to get it done in whatever comes for it. So that's what I believe. Even when I look at all my awards from business, they're like consistency, persistency, trendsetter. Like they're all about like some type of resilience. Like they're all about like something like that. So I know that. And then even I had someone close to me call me the other day, like, girl, you've never gave up. I never broke down like, okay, let me just get a job, or okay, let me just give up on this. Like I've never done it. I've always found the way. Because I was a stay-at-home single mom. Like I'm gonna do that. I should say I'm a single mother in my household. I have a great co-parent, but what I'm saying inside of that is that even though I didn't have the husband or whatever, I was still going to be at home with my daughter. I've been saying that since I was like young, right? So being resilient enough to making that happen no matter what. And if you can do your personal life like that, it will translate to your business life and you'll have success.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, man, give us some closing statements or something that, share with everybody how they can reach you on Instagram and on whatever social. Are you on TikTok?
I'm over there, but I haven't really decided if I want to be fun or do business over there yet. Yeah. So I haven't really like went crazy over there. A lot of my clients, I've grown and scaled them over there, but me personally, I haven't really done TikTok like that. Social media is great, but if I see that the time that I'm spending on it doesn't equate, like when I have a low ticket item on sale, I might go a little bit harder on there or whatever, but my average person isn't really on social media. But you can find me at Whitney with 2 T's, The Connect on all the social medias. I do talk back on there. I do answer my DMs. personally. And I also have a community. I just knew that when I was moving into buying businesses, I still wanted to be able to serve people that wanted my membership, our mentorship. So I do have a low ticket community as well. And if you see this recording, just DM me, Tony. Okay, you guys, and I'll take off half the enrollment fee on that as well. And then I want to leave you guys with this. So many people will hear, and this is like, we talk about mindset, and you get what you believe, see it, believe it, all of this stuff. But what I want to leave you with is like, you really get what you believe is absolutely true for you. You get what you believe is absolutely true. So if you believe that you might deserve to drive like this, but if you can't see yourself in it, or you don't really believe that you're worthy of it, you're not going to get it, right? So I think when you change that little tiny absolutely true for you into what you're thinking and doing and working on and different things like that, you'll have faster success. And believe that success happens fast. Like, it doesn't take all day. It doesn't take, I want to do this when I grow up, I want to do this, and pivot. I want to encourage people to pivot right now, because everybody looks frowned upon that. You can do something. Everybody be like, stick with something. You're not going to have success till you stick with something. No, I'm the coach. When people come into my stuff, I'll tell you to quit, or at least find a different angle. This might help someone, Tony. I used to travel around this country talking about credit, with like a 500 score, talking about investing with no investment account, like talking about all this stuff, money, and that people would keep me on stage because I had influence, but I didn't have any of that shit. So I had to ask God, like, yo, I know I'm supposed to be talking about money, but what is it? I needed to teach the mindset of money, because what I can do is print money out of thin air. What I can do is manifest money. What I can do is have a money mindset, different things like that. So when I pivoted into that, then the opportunities, the money, everything started to open up, because I was being true to me versus just like true to like the look or what could be happening. And people just taking pictures of me. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get home? I still got about one way. Right? So this is important to pivot if you're supposed to. You don't have to quit, but it might be something different. You might need to be the entrepreneur in what you do at your 9 to 5 and sell yourself back to your company on a different side of the balance sheet. Like, these are different things that you got to do. So pivot, believe that things are true for you. Reach out to me. This was such a pleasure. I really like this conversation, Tony. I'm excited for where you're going with the show.
Yeah. And you're going to help me out with the show. You're going to tell me, because speaking of that, I'm at 6,000 subscribers now, folks. I'm supposed to be at 10,000 in 12 months. I got 2 more months, 2.5 more months to get 4 more thousand subscribers. So if y'all listening, you got to subscribe. You got to like, you got to hit the all button. You got to do all of that stuff. And then also, I got Miss Whitney now is going to show me what to do and how to make it really happen.
Let's go.
Let's go make it happen, folks. So I appreciate you again. And
thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. So this has been another episode of Elite Psyche, and we'll talk to you guys later. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.